dear friend. There's the opening bell. I hope you can hear that. Neil Hamilton. Let's bring him on here. Neil, how are we doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for that warm welcome.
How's your weekend?
It was wonderful. It was fantastic.
Good.
I heard a lot of noise from my neighbors. I have to imagine there was some type of, it was like they were watching Harry Potter or something. There must have been something good on TV.
Okay.
But yeah, I loved the session on Benzinga Pro. I'm also a fan. Who's that move? Benzinga Pro, special edition giant mug.
How do I get one of those? I don't have one of those.
Spencer, I think I might be able to hook you up. But if anyone else wants the mug, just go ahead and drop the link in chat and they can grab that. But guys, we are getting started. It is 9:30-ish in the AM Eastern Time. This is Get Technical with Neil. That's me. This is the show where we talk about using charts, price charts, and all sorts of technical indicators to figure out when to time our trades and make money in the markets. And no, I'm not a highfalutin, super special guru trader or anything like that. I started at Benzinga about 4 years ago, where I was sweeping floors and returning Luke Jacoby's energy drink cans until Jason Raznick noticed just how much money I was making on those returns, and he decided to hire me onto the team full time. And over that course of 4 years, I learned a bunch of stuff, probably not unlike you guys. Learning stuff from osmosis, watching random stuff on YouTube, Twitter, talking to fellow traders, fellow investors. And over time, I started to assimilate a basic baseline strategy for trading technical analysis. So during the show, we will talk about that. We will talk about education. We will talk about trade ideas, opportunities to make money. We will have little contests like we're going to have today. It's going to be sweet. We're going to give away over $10,000 in prizes, but make sure you stick around to the end of the show for that. Thank you to everyone that registered for the 10,000K giveaway contest. We will have more of those in the future, but stick around to the end to find out if you have won. With us today, I'm very excited. We have technical analyst and educator Julia Cordova. She will be starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, so make sure you stick around, 10 a.m. Eastern. The whole point is I'm going to show you what I'm trading. I'm going to talk about a little bit about Bitcoin. If you guys got some, if you guys give me ones in chat, we can talk about scalping Bitcoin this morning. Elon Musk tweeted that I'm not sure if it was a tweet, but we're talking about Tesla using Bitcoin as a reserve instead of regular cash. So that's going to make it spike up quite a lot. And we're going to figure out how we can scrape away as much money from that as possible. Happy to do that. Give me a 1 if you want to talk about Bitcoin. Give me a 2 if you'd rather talk about stocks, and I'll take your picks. But I want to go back to some picks that I had last week, check in on how they're doing. I do think that we're in a pretty good position with one of them in particular. So let's go ahead and get rolling with that. Guys, also, as always, make sure that don't be a weirdo. Don't watch a show without being subscribed. All right? It's creeping me out. Just hit the subscribe button. All right, the first one I want to look at, you guys should be able to see my chart. On my chart right now, thank you, Spencer. Go ahead and full screen this bad boy so that everyone can see it. On my chart, on the left, I've got Bitcoin. All right, so here we've got this big move. I'm on the 5-minute intervals. I like to look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies when I trade them over the weekend. I like to look at them on like 15, like 30-minute, 15, and 5. In this case, if I go ahead and just remove this crap that you see on the screen, so we can just see price and volume, we can see what happened after people found out that Tesla, Elon Musk, was doing something with Bitcoin. So it shot right up. We'll get into that. I got a good mix of 1s and 2s, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. I do want to talk about some of our previous picks. So the first one I want to get into is OXY. In fact, I want to keep Bitcoin open because I'm in a trade, so I'm going to keep an eye on that for my own sake. Let's go ahead and get OXY here. Petroleum, guys, if you remember from last week when, holy crap, look at this thing. Remember from last week when we had JC Peretz on, and he was talking about how we're entering a commodity super cycle based purely on the technicals and market relative strength, not the RSI down here, something completely different. What he's talking about is sector strength compared to other sectors. All right, so he's looking at commodities and he's thinking we're entering a big bullish market for it. And if you quote JC Peretz, the idea is that it's just the beginning of that. And it just so happens that I found a nice reversal pattern, I think the next day, by Coinky Dink on Occidental Petroleum, OXY. You guys should have the ticker in your watch list if you watch the show. Let's go ahead and switch this up to a day chart, because remember, with these trades that we're doing in the morning, we like to look at things over a little bit of a longer period because we're looking for big, fat, juicy, double-digit percentage breakouts. And those usually happen when a pattern is resolving over a longer period of time. Doesn't mean it can't happen over a shorter period of time, but usually the longer the pattern, the bigger the breakout. So what we've got here, guys, if you remember, I was talking about bottoms, all right? Big old bottoms, which we got here with Occidental. We've got a pretty sustained downward trend on this thing. All right, looking ugly, looking ugly. All of a sudden, it's a teen romance movie. We're taking the nerdy girl to prom. All right, we're giving her a makeover. It's the year 1999. She's all that. I'm not sure if that's actually the movie I'm thinking of, but you guys get it. All right. So we've got a couple things going on here that I love. We've got a double bottom pattern, which is characterized by a downward trend. So remember, number one, we're always looking for the trend. The trend is your friend. So we're looking for a downward trend. And then this double bottom, it's a reversal pattern. Okay, we've got continuation patterns on one side, which are abundant in this market. We're going to talk about them. But in this case, it's a reversal, which is often very, very powerful. So we're saying ugly, ugly, ugly. All right, time for the makeover on OXY. So double bottom pattern characterized by two dips, right, that are hitting the same level. That's where the buyer's saying, this is enough. I have noticed this girl. She's got a great personality, a lot of potential. We just got to get her a new pair of glasses, makeover. All right. Downtrend, little booty, uptrend. That's what we're looking for. All right. And so when we look at this thing, something interesting, I previously drew support right about here where the meat is. And the way that I usually want to do that on a double bottom, instead of just drawing a line, I'm going to grab myself a rectangle. So let's do that. Paintbrush, rectangle. And I want to do it where the meat is. I don't like this little peaky thing. It's playing games with me. All right. I don't like the way that it's playing games with me and you guys. It's not fair. Let's do it where the meat is, where the action was, where the actual battle happened, where the blood was spilt among the bulls and the bears here. All right. Now let's go ahead and draw this out. All right. In this container, we've got our double bottom pattern. We also have something really juicy. You guys remember? A gap. That gap, though. Gaps get filled, especially in this bull market. All right. So we got a very powerful thing happening, and this is perfect. All right. So let me draw this out for you guys. All right. We've got gap down. Eventually, that's going to get filled if we hit any sort of support and a bounce. But even better than a bounce, we've got a double bottom reversal pattern. Looking great. We're in a great sector, according to JC Peretz. We're in commodities. We're talking about petroleum here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Even better. A lot of times when you get a double bottom pattern, what you get is something like this. You get this line that's just about where the action took place, and then you get a little breakout, and then you get a bounce on it. And then you go to the moon. All right. So this is looking good. This is looking like it's going to resolve the way I want it to. Again, we're keeping our stops just a little bit below this neckline or former resistance line. Both mean the same thing. When you're talking about a pattern, the neckline is typically the top portion of it. In this case, we like this bounce. Yes, it crossed over. Yes, it's not exact. But patterns are not exact because they're based on nature and human nature and all of these things that go into what makes up the price chart. So yes, it looks a little bit messy. Is that okay? Yes, it's wonderful. So let's go ahead and get rid of this box. I want to show you something else kind of cool. I previously did a Fibonacci. I did a video like it's like Neil explains Fibonacci sequence. All right. We posted a little bit of a clip where I was talking about the Fibonacci sequence and how it matters and how it shows up in charts. And then someone came in, I really want to thank this person for the feedback. I love feedback. This is the worst explanation ever. And then someone from Benzinga pinned it to make it the top comment every time someone looks. So, you know, guys, if you want to learn more about Fibonacci stuff, do me a favor. Just go to this video. Just, you know, maybe get the conversation started. Watch it. Give me your opinion on the explanation. But I want to thank you, Viet Tuan. Any rate, so we're back over here. Let's go ahead and bring the Fibonacci into the equation. You know, let's invite him to the party. Let's get this. Let's invite the Italian. So what I'm going to do is trash can all of my drawings, and then I'm going to use what is called the Fibonacci Retracement tool. And the way that I'm going to use this tool is I'm going to draw a point. I'm going to pick a point at the swing low of my pattern, so the bottom here, the resistance. And then I'm going to draw the other point at the absolute tippy top of the swing high, which in this case is that sort of middle of the W that we're getting here. But remember, I want to stay close to kind of the action, so let's do that. Well, you know, whatever. We'll do it in the body of this candle. Something interesting, guys. Do you notice that we are getting bounces at each of these lines? These lines are showing up where we had little battles, periods where traders were taking a breather, battling it out over the fair value of the stock, and then letting the market decide where it goes. We get a little bit of a breakout, then we come back down, and look where it came right back down to, guys. This is the first line of the Fibonacci retracement, which actually lines up perfectly. All I did was draw a point from here to here, and it drew a line pretty much where that battle was taking place. So very cool tool, Fibonacci retracement. It should be on most of your brokerages if you have a desktop platform. It comes under different names, but if it has Fibonacci in it, the thing that we're doing is called retracement, Fibonacci retracement. This is TradingView. You can find it in Benzinga Pro on the charting tool, which is actually powered by TradingView. I'm sure Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, you guys can find it. But I love this because we're bouncing off of this. Am I in this stock? Yes, full disclosure, I'm in this stock. Why? Because we're looking for a resolution of this double bottom pattern. We're bouncing off right now. The bulls are coming in. We have RSI coming in and showing that we have momentum behind this trade. I do believe that this will break out and close this gap. And how do we get our price target? We go from the base of our W to the peak, and then we add that to the breakout level, which is right about here, we'll say. Actually, let's go ahead and just go a little, well, yeah, let's be conservative. We'll go right about here. These things aren't exact, but this is kind of how you come up with it. It is the base of your double bottom to the neckline, and then you add that distance. So we're looking at about $34 as our price target, which is if you were to get in now, that would be a gain of about 45%. Next on the list, let's take a look at Microsoft. Yeah, are you guys getting bored with Microsoft? If you are, you shouldn't be. All right, this is sometimes making money is boring. That's what we're here to do, make money. So MSFT, let's take a look at this bad boy. Let's change our range. Let's get down to let's get to a week maybe. Okay, so let's look at the whole thing. We've got upward trend. That's number one for a breakout. We need to confirm that we have an upward trend. In fact, we've got what could be a nice little pull right here for a pattern, right? When we're talking about breakouts, the one that comes up a lot, we're talking about flags and pennants, all right? So we're thinking about flag pulls here. So looking good, looking good. RSI is where we want it. On a momentum stock, we're maintaining 50 to about 70 on the weekly increment. Let's take a look. Let's use the week. All right, I'm going to trash all my drawings. Okay, we've got a couple things going on. Number one, bull pennant on a great stock. Already broken out right just the way we wanted to. Delicious. I told you, quote unquote, go back to my video. I said Microsoft is looking like a snack. And if you had a little bit of this snack, you would be fat in a really good way right now. So what we've got is 1, 2, 3 times it touches that sloping resistance line. All right. 1, 2, 3 times it touches that sloping support line. And again, this is a bull pennant, which is characterized by lower highs and higher lows following an upward trend. How do we set our entry and price target? With a bull pennant, we're talking about the apex. So make sure when you're drawing lines on a pattern like this, go ahead and draw these things out. Draw them out so that you can see where they cross. All right. And then to clean it up, I'm going to bring it back in just there. I want it to look like a pennant, like a, you know, that little golf emoji, the little golf flag emoji. All right. Nice and pretty. This thing is looking beautiful. It's already broken out. So then how are we measuring our profit potential from a healthy breakout on this pattern? Base of the pole to the top of the pole, which is the swing high, or that first big upward momentum in your, or upward move in your bull pennant. All right. So this is our pole just about. I'll bring it down a little bit. I like to be conservative on how I draw these. We add the pole to the apex, guys. On a bull pennant, we don't add it to the breakout. We add it to the apex. Okay. So when is a good entry? When there's a close above the breakout point. Has it closed above the breakout point? Yes, it has. A couple times. So we are in the midst of a breakout. How long will it take to resolve? Who knows? Well, look how fast this thing was moving up previously. Look at the RSI behind it. We're looking good. Where is my volume? Why don't I have volume on my chart? Let me double check. Maybe I should type in indicator and go to volume. Just make sure I have it on my chart. There we go. Do we have a surge in volume? Hell yeah, we do. These are the things we like to see. We like to see a close above the breakout line, and we like to see surge in volume. We got a nice, tall, standing above the crowd, green volume bar, and we're going to watch for more of those. But this is a fine time to get in here. And then let's look at profit potential. Full disclosure, I am in this stock. I waited for this close. But if one were to enter today, profit potential is about 30.5%. Okay, that's Microsoft, folks. Remember, pole plus the apex equals price target for a bull pennant. Stop loss just a bit underneath the breakout point. Move your stop loss as you go up. That's how we do this. With something like this, where it's going to take, we're on a weekly chart, so it's going to take longer for this thing to resolve. So it's going to look like, you know, like a classic trend where it's zigzagging up. So a trailing stop loss might get you stopped out. My recommendation for something like this is over a longer period of time is to just keep raising your stop loss. Stay about, as you're getting up on something that's like a 30% potential, say around like 5 to 8% as your stop loss, 5 to 8% below where you are at any given time. Just keep an eye on it. Remember that we're looking at weekly candles, so you know, maybe check every couple days on something like this. That is how I would play this. That's how I am playing this. That's Microsoft. All right, we've got a few more minutes here, folks. Calls turn green. So Pete, I'm in the same, but Pete says I need Microsoft to break out, so my March 19 calls turn green. Same boat. I bought calls on Microsoft, and you know, we didn't get like a crazy breakout, but you know what? I believe that it is coming based on this volume and the direction that this RSI is going in. So if you have calls, you're in the same boat that I am. So we're waiting for those to turn green. And we're talking about options for those of you not totally familiar. All right, new pick. A new fighter has entered the arena. By the way, I'm still here. I want to see BTC. I'm getting stressed out. Is this BTC? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. BTC looking like, God. We need some momentum here. We need Elon. All right, so let's look at, what is this? SENS. Sonic Holdings Inc. I don't know what the company is. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they produce. I don't know what their customers are. I don't know anything about them. I'm purely just looking at the chart. All right. I don't even know what sector they're in. So looking at this thing on a shorter time frame, let's switch away from week. Let's switch over to what was I doing? I think I was doing the day chart when I found this. No, what was I doing? Yeah. Okay, got it. So let's switch to the 4-hour, guys. Let's look at this thing on the 4-hour chart. Drop in chat if you know Elon Musk. Drop in the chat if you know what this pattern is. Quick hint, we cover this pattern like almost every day in this market. So guys, drop in chat. There's a little bit of a delay, so I'll wait for you. What is the pattern on this stock that we see? It's already broken out a bit. Elon Musk. Matt, not quite, but maybe Steven. I mean, a lot of times with these patterns, like people will see different things. So like Julia, who we're going to have on in 9 minutes, might look at some of the same stuff I'm looking at and identify a different chart because she's a different pattern because she's looking at different increments, or maybe she has a better idea of the longer term trend. So a lot of times in technical analysis, we'll see different patterns. But the interesting thing about charts is that they are fractal. All right, and I'll leave you with that. That's one maybe later when we all take mushrooms together, we'll get into how that works out. So it's a bull flag, Max. No, actually, no, it's a pennant. So shout out Stephen Hutchinson. Well done. So why is this a pennant? Let's take a look. Swing high to swing low, lower successive highs. Swing low to the apex, higher successive lows. We've got a pennant, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, it's got to look like we're looking for a pennant, and this is like the best, most bullish pattern you can possibly get. Looking for something like this, but since markets move over time, usually the pull on the pennant looks a little more like that, right, guys? So we'll go ahead and delete that crap. Get that out of here. So we've got a pennant that's already broken out, guys. Already broken out. And so just like we did previously, we're going to go and measure the pull on this. I'm going to do it conservatively with this big breakout that we had. I could go down here. We could do that, guys, but I'm conservative. I have paper hands. Paper hands. Don't tell anyone. I like to be absolutely sure about making some money. So we take this pole, it's the height of the pole, and we're going to add it to the apex once again, guys, not the breakout, not the breakout. So we're adding this to the apex. So we're already about 1/3 of the way through this full breakout. And again, guys, this is basically a penny stock. It's right now, it is a penny stock. All right. So it is a volatile puppy. It is a very volatile puppy. So keep your stops tight and watch it. Watch volume. Volume is your friend. We want to see trending upward volume. We want to see green candles to confirm this. This can go sideways and you get what is called a rejected breakout. So if we get a bunch of red, if the RSI starts to trend down, if the RSI literally starts to look like this, you've got a trending downward momentum. All right. So be careful with this one. But full disclosure, I own this. Full disclosure, I have a tight stop loss on this. Full disclosure, my price target is about $5. All right. So let's look at the profit potential. Were you to enter right now, profit potential is about 46%. SENS. Let's see if I can do the NATO phonetic alphabet. This is Sandbox, Ernie, Neil Hamilton, Sandwich, SENS. All right, so that's my last pick that I've got for you. It is volatile. Keep a very, very tight stop if you so choose to enter this stock or another one like it. Bull Pennant, very bearish though. We love it. It's one of the most consistent bullish continuation patterns that you will find in the market. All right, guys, I am taking. Did I call it something different? It's a Pennant. Yeah, all caps, Pennant. And again, here I'll just type this up for you guys. How about this? Boom. Bull Pennant price target equals pull plus apex. So in this case, that is, so it's the length of the pull. So I should say this, it should be height of pull. And then I'm going to grab, let's see if it'll let me grab the ruler tool at the same time. No, it closed my text, and but I'll change that. So the height of the pull in this case, $2.42. So let's edit this text again. So target equals 242 plus, and then what is this level at the apex? About 265, we'll say. Equals, and we'll just say roughly that that's like $5, right? And some change, 5 and some change. We'll do this little thing. All right, we're looking for something like this right here on it. Screen cap it, guys. Screen cap it. This is a good one to just keep for bull pennants. And one thing I'll add to this is, again, we like to give resistance little kisses, sweet little kisses. We like to do the same thing with support. We're in a polyamorous kind of thing. Open relationship with support and resistance. Three times I kiss you. All right. 3 times I kiss you, support. And we've broken out. Please don't clip that, producer team. So at any rate, guys, all right, that is SENS tickers for the day that we're looking at for those patterns. We've got OXY with a double bottom reversal pattern looking to get resolved and close a gap. We've got Microsoft. Who doesn't love Microsoft? With a bullish continuation pattern of a bull pennant and another bull pennant on a penny stock SENS. All of these are they're ranging from 32% to 40% profit targets. And then I want to pull up BTC because, again, I am in a trade right now. So I'm just going to pull this. Oh, wait, BTC. No, not futures. What the heck? I want BTC. We do BTC USD. This is how you look it up. Ooh! Okay. So obviously that looks really good. Bitcoin really quick. I'm going to look at a shorter time frame. As I said, I like the 15-minute right now. 15-minute also looking like a snack. We're consolidating. Let me bring in my Fibonacci level so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, Fibonacci. Let's do it again. Fibonacci retracement. Draw a point at the base. Draw a point at the top. And the idea here is to time when we're going to go down and bounce. And let's see if going down to the body of the top makes a little more sense. Yeah, it seems to make more sense. So if I go down to the body of the top, this is a little bit more accurate. And we can see that we bounced off this first level. We went up and we kind of did a little bounce. We have this candle here. Julia might be able to correct me on this, but this sequence of candles, not sure if that's bearish or bullish, but at any rate, we had the bulls come back in, buy us, and keep us just above that resistance level. We want to stay here. So my thing with this is I really want to see another candle that's going to get us back above all-time highs. We get back above all-time highs, I'm going to pile in. Right now I'm in a little bit. We hit all-time highs. We break above. Let's go ahead and be conservative and say let's break above the top of this wick. That's when I will pile in. I don't bet against all-time highs, especially when it's got a name like Elon Musk behind it. All right, guys. So we are at 9:59 in the AM Eastern time. I still haven't had a sip of my coffee out of my Benzinga mug, only available at swag.benzinga.com. Guys, Julia Cordova, someone that I followed on FinTwit for a long time. I've been a silent admirer, and I borrowed her trade ideas for quite some time. I recommend you do the same. Check out her YouTube channel. Spencer, can we get the YouTube channel and can we get the Twitter dropped in chat so that folks can go find more from Julia? And hopefully you guys some of you are already aware of what she's been doing. She's just one of the best on FinTwit. Great technical trader and great educator. If you're watching her videos, she will break things down for you in a way that's easy to understand. So that's why we love to have her on the show, because that's what this show is about. So without further ado, producer Spencer, could you also please bring on Julia?
She stepped away for a second.
Funnily,
So
yeah, no, hold on. My headset just turned off. Funnily enough, I think that she just left the studio.
no,
Okay,
she's back. She's back.
Reconnecting. Okay.
There we go. All right, Julia. Julia, if you're ready, give me the thumbs up. All right, here we go.
Julia, wait. Hi, Julia. Welcome. How are you doing this morning?
Do I need to scooch?
Yeah, you gotta shimmy over. I do that every time. Good thing we both have Herman Miller Aeron rolling chairs. Am I right?
So luxurious. Actually, it feels really good.
I like, yes. Talking about double bottoms, this feels good on my double bottom.
You're funny. I'm sorry about before. I went to go plug in some headphones just in case we have like a, echo and stuff, and it just like turned my computer off. So I mean, it would have been, I don't know.
So I mean, I was worried. I thought that I would have to entertain these. I don't have enough jokes for these people. They're going to eat me alive. I can't go for another 30 minutes. I'm good with 20-minute sets.
I think you can, because I was watching before you brought me on. I was like, this is really good. Your show is really good. And I'm not even just saying that, because it was actually super helpful. I mean, it's interesting because we have different ways that we look at things, but if I were, in fact, I could absolutely learn a lot from, I think, watching your show, because it was just for you to talk about, the measured move of Pennants, and then like how you would handle stop losses was super helpful, I thought.
All right, I'm fogging up a little bit. Glasses are getting foggy. You're gonna make me cry.
Oh.
You're gonna make me cry. Do you know that? It's too early in the morning. I'm not ready for a good cry. I'll have a good one later, depending on how Bitcoin goes. But thank you so much for the praise.
Are you long Bitcoin right now?
I was long this I was long this morning. I've been getting in and out. So there's a new term for that, which is a paper hands bitch, which I've been getting in and out of Bitcoin. And what I like to do, Julia, is on the weekends, I like to practice all of my scalping chops with cryptocurrency.
Okay.
And just trade it up and down as it trends. That's where I've like really been practicing with Fibonacci patterns. And yes, maybe I do sound a little bit like a newbie with this, but I'm still learning. I don't
know. Everybody's still learning, first of all. Like, I don't, if anyone ever thinks that they've got this thing nailed, I mean, you can find things that work, but then sometimes they stop working. You know what I mean? So like, everybody's always learning.
True. So quick answer to your question. I'm in it right now. I am long Bitcoin. I might be exiting depending on how things go. My perspective on Bitcoin is that we will get to 6 figures on it. So long term, I'm bullish on it. How about you?
I am not cuckoo enough to trade it, because already I trade futures, so it's like 23 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I feel like if I also traded crypto, it would be like I can't. I'm not capable of it.
Well, futures are a whole different beast. You've got that shorter window. You've got but it is, as far as I understand, one of the origins of technical analysis. If we go back to a lot of the early, what would we say? We would say the early explorers, the early pioneers of technical analysis were using it on futures. I've been reading, okay? I've been reading for the show so I can sound smart.
Who are some of your favorite early pioneers of technical analysis?
Well, it has to be Dow, right?
Okay.
Dow. So you guys know the Dow Jones Industrial Complex. Dow was a publisher who partnered with a fellow named Edward, I believe it was Edward Jones, Charles Dow and Edward Jones. Dow was one of the first guys, any technical analysis book that you find is going to reference his early plots of price over time where he's recognizing trend. So basically, he was the first one to postulate that you can look at what has happened in the past and expect history to repeat itself. All right, so that's where he's looking at trends, and then he has a couple sort of like the big three things you need to know about technical analysis. Number one is that when there's a trend, it has no reason to stop until there's a force that stops it, which is like a really Newtonian sort of an object in motion will stay in motion unless there's a force of like equal blah 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 that will stop it. He has a lot of that kind of stuff. And then there are a couple folks after him that get really psychedelic with the way that they look at markets, even applying astrology to charts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets a little out there.
I like it. I think it's super cool. I mean, I don't understand it, but like I've had people DM me about the moons and how it affects silver. And I mean, they're not all, I mean, they're right as much as anybody else is right, honestly.
True.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what technical analysis is great. It helps you with your love life. It helps you understand like when you're in retrograde Venus, what retrograde Venus and when you have opportunities to enter a trade. So,
Neil, you're very knowledgeable.
No, I'm not. I'm making this shit up right now. Absolutely not. Enough about me, Julia. We're here to hear from you. I want to know what tickers you're interested in today and what you are trading. And I also want to know the thought behind it. So if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen, that would be ideal. So if you go to the bottom of your little StreamYard window, it's kind of like Zoom where you go to the bottom.
Yeah, I see how to do it, but I have to reload my chart because when my computer shut down, it did something weird. Okay, I got it now. All right. Okay, good. Okay, hold on one second. Okay.
And Gherkin, I am not into astrology. I promise I'm not. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. All right, so once you share that, producer Spencer will pull it up and get me out of here. And just a reminder to everyone, just as the neon sign behind Julia says, this is not financial advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only, hopefully in equal quantities.
Can you still see me?
I cannot see you, but I can see the full screen of your chart.
Okay, so nobody can see me right now if I make faces and stuff?
We want to see you make faces, so I'm kind of conflicted.
No. I was just curious because I don't know. Okay, I won't make any faces. All right.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I created my Tesla chart because it got a fair amount of attention only because I hadn't really traded it up until about here when I took a short on it. So well, actually not here. What am I talking about? It was actually here. But I wanted to talk about just how I created the chart and how I do measured moves and just generally how I do technical analysis because I think people might be curious.
Perfect.
Okay. So generally, and people make fun of me all the time because I have tons of lines on my chart. It's not clean. There's no it's not beautiful. I mean, I think it's beautiful, but other people might not think it's beautiful because there's all lines everywhere and stuff. But what I generally try to do is I try to find lines in price that, look, I mean, see, this is sort of a general 3 data point hit. And then if I move that line around, if it, again, hits some beautiful places, then I think because, I believe that the price action is controlled by computers or algorithms. And I have to believe that they respect certain slopes of trend lines. So what I generally do is I find a few different upslopes, and this is just, I mean, you can see this is sort of a copy of my original Tesla chart, which is different. But and because I tried to make this one simple, that was why. But anyway, so what I try to do is I try to find lines that correlate with price. I move them around to make sure they're good lines that are respected by the algorithms. And I try to find a few different upslopes and a few different downslopes. And then I just apply them. And in this particular instance, I had identified a pennant here, and like what you were talking about before. So I measured the length of the pole from the bottom to the top. And by the way, I realize I do this differently than some people, and there's all different ways to do it. And in my opinion, there's not a right way. There's just a way that you choose based on your experience and being either right or wrong. But I take this, and I know I just heard before that you apply it to sort of the tip of the pennant, but I applied it to sort of where the breakout was. So that's how I identify different support and resistances. So,
Julia,
Yeah.
really, sorry to interrupt. When are you entering?
Well, it's hard to say with Tesla. I mean, I enter a short once it gets to a measured move. And so I basically calculate what the measured move will be. And then I watch price action around there in the smaller time frames. I mean, I think I entered the first short here. And so it did get a little bit higher, like a titch. And then I was lucky to catch a 10% move down. But I generate measured, and I had, to simplify the chart, I actually got rid of my original, like, here's how far it will go up. But it was actually from here to here and then from here to here. But anyway, I generally would enter a short there or take profit there if I were already long. So I sort of wait until it gets to a measured move and then scalp downwards. And then, you know, when it got back above here, I would normally say, yeah, that's a great time to go long. But if you look at what happened in the price action, Tesla likes to, I mean, look what it's doing now. It likes to do weird things. So I don't just use my measured move. I use, you know, these curvy things that are called MAs. I was like trying to think of the name. But it's true. Look how beautiful that is. And, you know, people are like, oh, you know, this chart is so great. These lines are so great. But look how beautifully that MA supported this.
So for folks that don't know what MA stands for, that's moving average.
Thank you.
What?
I cannot think of what it was called. I'm just like the curvy things that also go up over time. I really couldn't think of what it was called.
I like that description a lot more than moving average because I think it says what it really is.
Right. Well, when price is above the curvy things, it's bullish. And when it's below the curvy things, it's bearish, just in general.
I'm going to tweet that.
I mean, it's true though, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So someone in chat asked if you are up on Tesla. I think it's pretty safe to assume that you are.
Well, overall, yes. I had one short that, okay, so this is an interesting thing. So I had one short that went really well. I made a lot of money on it because I sort of just YOLO'd it. And then I had another one that I took that would have gone well had I sold the next day. And it wasn't because price was going the direction that I wanted it to. It was sort of doing it. But for whatever reason, that week, there was so much, and I don't understand options that well, but there was so much volatility that even my, whatever I bought option-wise was up like 65% the day. And it wasn't because price was moving in my direction, but because there was so much volatility in the options market. So that's a really interesting topic for somebody who's not me. I didn't understand how it was possible. And I didn't take any profit there because I was like, this is fan-freaking-tastic, 65% in one day, imagine tomorrow. And then the next day, I did close out some at 30%, but then I ended up taking a giant L on the rest of it because it did, you know, what I was trying to do, because Tesla options are so expensive, is I was trying to perfectly time, as I did before, the short, and it didn't work out for me. So overall, I am up, but I have one winning trade and one losing trade on it so far.
Would you mind going back to that winning trade and walking us through your thinking on it?
Well, sure. It was really just it was that I had calculated them. So I had it in blue here, and I had it from a few weeks before. I talked about it on my YouTube channel, and I was like, 653 is the measured move, and I wasn't even in the trade at that time. Someone had won me charting this for them and sort of giving them, like my opinion of the chart. And so I did, and I said, and I was actually short biased at the time at breaking out of this pennant. I was thinking, that perhaps it might take a breather because it had, gone up so far. But generally speaking, pennants are bullish. And so anyway, I was short. So I had a short bias, but I said, look, if it holds this pink line, it's still bullish. The pink line on the bottom, basically, if it closes the daily above, it's still bullish. And then if it breaks out, then the measured move is 653. And so and all this time, I didn't actually even take my own trade because I just was like biased against it. So I waited until it got to this measured move and then took the short. And then, you had to get in and out of there pretty quick. But yeah.
So Julia, when you are taking the short, are you doing a traditional short sell?
No, I didn't in this case. I actually did options, and so that's why it was so and actually my options were at one point in the money. I was like, what? You know what I mean? And that was an incredible trade, I think, for me, actually.
I'm probably to a similar or maybe lesser level of understanding of how options work. I have like a base level, but when they work for me and I see the percentage increase in their value, that is a rush, and that's like a big reason why I love them. So when you're taking a short position, so following the measured move, which I imagine your measured move, correct me if I'm wrong, your measured move is about the length of the pole.
Yeah, exactly.
Leading into the pennant.
Exactly. And so when it broke above this last measured move, I recalculated it to be a larger pennant and that's how I got this next measured move. And because people were like, how are you doing this? Because I just sort of around here, I was like, going short again here kind of thing. But then it's really just consolidating. It's not moving. And then I said that if it breaks above this pennant, it would have a high likelihood of being a false breakout. And the reason that I thought that was because based on this upward, even from here, based on this upward move, it seems to me that it would require a longer period of consolidation to continue moving up at the same speed. And if it doesn't, then it almost has to, because if it doesn't continue moving up at the same speed, that's almost bearish. Mm-hmm. So that was my logic there. So it did break above, and then it was a false breakout. But now, I took the same slope from the top of the pennant here, and I applied it to this first high, if you will. Mm-hmm. And it's broken above and false breakout, but then again, and then today even we're back above it.
Yeah. So, that movement was weird. That I also was watching Tesla. I have been for the past week or so there. Yeah. And not sure what the hell to do with that stuff. But really quick, Julia, I want to unify a couple points here that I think will answer some questions that folks watching are having. Okay. Number one is measured move, which, guys, remember when we're talking about a pennant pattern, the pennant has a pole leading up to it. So Julia has identified where an upward trend started and then ended and then started to turn into that pennant pattern. So that measured move is the length of the pole. So she added that to the breakout on her pennant. Right. And then, Julia, this is where I have a question. So we have, after the breakout on the pennant, we have price growth that is about the same as the pole length. Now, when you decided to short it, why did you decide to short it? Is it because after a measured move following a breakout, you expect people to take profit and sell?
Yes. I mean, to me, it's so, I mean, sometimes it seems like I'm trading against the trend. And of course I am sometimes, but really for me, it's about trying to find the most high probability thing that could happen at a particular price point. So it is just extremely high probability that after a measured move, it takes some sort of break. And, what I'm not good at, and I think I could definitely get better at, is if something is in such an uptrend like this, taking the actual trend with it once I'm done with my short. And I mean, I'm not doing that just because I do feel, and in fact, some ways, so when it did its false breakout and it came back down, it left a gap. And in some ways, you could even say that it filling the gap right away is actually bearish, because you almost, like, if you're a bull, you almost want that gap left open, and so that you can know to buy the dip, so that you will assume that ultimately, it may go down, it may go way down, but ultimately that gap is there. You can just leave it in your account, that sort of thing. So there are lots of gaps here on the way up. There are gaps way down here. And so just like, I mean, here, there's a gap at 236. Like, I mean, and before that, believe me. But just generally speaking, I mean, algorithms like to hold slopes and algorithms like to fill gaps. And so I would say, because it's filled this gap already, if it does come back down below this original pennant line, if it closes below there, I think it's very bearish, that at least very short term. Not, I mean, clearly this chart is not bearish, but I think it would be a very bearish thing if it were to close below, like today would be 853.44-ish. So, but I mean, that's unlikely. I mean, but who knows? Whenever it closes below this blue line again, I think it's going to take a little bit of a breather. But if it doesn't, then hey, it might just continue up. I mean, look at what is, I'm not sure what that is. Do you know what that is? Like, I mean, what?
I believe the technical term is a hot mess.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost like an alien with a bow tie. I don't.
Yeah, that not a textbook definition, but it does look like an alien with a. Wait, is alien with a bow tie a real pattern, Julia?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe it'll form another pennant here going the other way, and then it'll be a bow tie, and then I don't know. It does kind of look. I mean, don't you see? I mean, this is like one side of the bow tie, and then the alien's ears and stuff, and then I'm making that up. Anyway, the point is that it's not behaving in what I would consider to be a normal, like this was easy, right? This triangle was easy. The measured move was easy. This pennant was easy. I would be curious what other people think it's doing now. Is it forming a giant megaphone or something? Maybe because it's got a higher high and a lower low from the pennant. Maybe, but I don't see enough data points to validate that yet. And in fact, if it were to go up higher, I would try to figure out what a megaphone would look like here to figure out where resistance was. But in general, I think if somebody's looking to short it, it would be best to wait until it closes below this blue line, and then go from there. But I mean, it's scary to short Tesla. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. It's not easy. I mean, I ended up taking a big L on my last options, even though I still don't understand how I was up 65% the next day, but that's okay. I didn't take enough profit anyway. So.
Volatility.
Yeah.
That's it. Julia, I want to thank you so much for taking you through these. You've been wonderful and explaining things in a way that I think everyone here in chat and I myself have been able to understand, which is that's 90 cents on your dollar right there. So what I want to end with, Julia, is where can folks get more from you? Where can they learn more from you?
So I have a YouTube channel that is probably going to be posted in your thing, right? So
Yes.
I love
Producer Spencer, let's get the YouTube channel posted.
it. So it's just, I think it's the Julia Cordova channel. I think, I don't know. It was really nice because before I had YouTube, it gave me this big long list of things, and folks on Twitter, they were so kind enough to follow me so that I could change the name to something I would remember. And I think it's just Julia Cordova. So yeah.
Yes,
So
it is.
please follow me on YouTube. And then I have a Twitter account as well, which is Cordova Trades.
Follow it, guys. Trade ideas, education, stay in the know. Follow Julia. She's fantastic. Julia, thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning.
Thank you, Neil. I really appreciate it. It was
All right.
kind of you to have me on. I don't know that I watched this before, to be honest with you. I had never seen your show before. I just tuned in before this, but I'm really impressed, and you're so knowledgeable, and I'm gonna watch it. Is it free?
It is free. It is free. Thank you, Julia. Because you flattered me so, I think we'll have you on again if you're available.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
All right. So the pleasure has been all ours, and we will see you on YouTube and Twitter, and hopefully on this show again.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. Isn't she great, guys? Smash that like button if you liked Julia's lessons, if you like the way that she talked about technical analysis. I love it. I think that she does things in a way that's very easy to understand, but it's like complex stuff. You saw her chart. It looked like a postmodern abstract sort of painting. Absolutely beautiful. And this is, I think that what she touched on this, a lot of this really is an art. It's just technical analysis is not for everyone. Some people just don't really get into it, but I think she does a wonderful job of showing us how things like algorithms that are automatically trading based on price activity are creating these patterns that can be recognized by a person like Julia or like me or like you guys, so we can make some money. And have a lot of fun doing it. I think it's really, really fun when you find a pattern and then that pattern actually resolves. It's one of the best feelings in the world, I gotta tell you. So, Producer Spencer, it is time. We got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left of Get Technical.
Yeah, Neil, can I just bring you down a few notches for a second? Because I feel like you're flying high off that. And I just want to say, your show stinks. No, it's a great show.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, what? So I actually have the ability to remove Producer Spencer. I just clicked remove and got him the hell out of here. What the heck was that, guys? All right, no haters. All right, so we got a little contest, ladies and gents. What I'm gonna do now is share our sheet. So we've only got a few minutes. We got to go quick. You guys registered for the Benzinga Get Technical with Neil giveaway. All right, so here are the prizes. Zooming in. First place gets a Benzinga Pro Lifetime, over $5,000 in value. Second place, same thing, over $5,000 in value. Third place, BZ t-shirt, BZ short for Benzinga, of course, gets a shirt and a mug. You tell me what shirt you want. I'm not wearing mine today. My favorite is the Zing Talica shirt, based on that one really popular metal band that ends with Talica. It says Benzinga and it says live in Detroit. Whoever designed that is a genius. I designed it. So fourth place just gets a shirt. Fifth place just gets a shirt. So if you win, what you'll do is pick out your shirt that you want, let us know your size, and we will hook you up. All right, let's go through and do the damn thing. So you have given me your email addresses. I'm going to use your email addresses. And to make sure that this election is 100% uncontested and above board, I'm going to use this thing I found this morning called the random name picker. All right. I'm going to grab these email addresses. I'm going to drop them in the random name picker. the random name picker, not pecker. And then I'm going to shuffle them around, guys. This is legitimate, completely random. All right. And again, prizes to be won. Benzinga Pro Lifetime, 5,000 plus. Benzinga Pro Lifetime, 5,000 plus. And some of the most attractive will get you a girlfriend swag that you can possibly wear. All right. Now we're going to go down and we're going to do random name picker. We're going to randomize it and see who gets first place. First place goes to JJ Wegha at me.com. Boom. To second place. We entered last week, Joel. We'll do more of these, don't worry. Quant Cash. Do you work at a quantitative hedge fund? If you do, you do not need this. You do not need this. You are making plenty of money. And guys, as soon as we're done with this contest, we will be starting our Benzinga Pro happy hour. So you'll be hanging out with Ryan Faluna, my man, philosopher trader, to talk about how you can use news, technical analysis to make fantastic trades using Benzinga Pro. Now, for third place. Roger, let's go! Well done, Roger. You have won our third place Benzinga t-shirt and a mug. Go ahead. If you guys see your email addresses, start picking them out, and then we'll get in touch with you. Let's do another one. Fourth place. Neville, my man. Neville Longbottom. That was for Spencer. All right, so let's get that in there. So how many email? Copy and paste it. Jeez. All right, Neville. Jeez, dude. Let's do one more or two more. Going quick. I'm already going over time. This is for a t-shirt. Eco Sal Soul. And everyone else is a winner too. Places 6 to 42 gets a compliment from me, valued at priceless. You guys are all really smart and good looking and special to me. And with that, I want to end today's episode of Get Technical with Neil, only on Benzinga. Next up is Benzinga Pro Happy Hour with Ryan Faluna. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow.